Woodburn's Solving Your China Business Pain Points. My name is Christina Kola-Colucci. I'm the head of business advisory at Woodburn Accountants and Advisors. And in today's episode, we're going to be looking at choosing your banking partner in China. There we go. Now, when you're establishing your entity in China, one of the key considerations for your business will be choosing the right banking partner. Foreign investors can establish accounts in China with international banks that have a local presence, like the Bank of East Asia, Citibank, DBS, Hang Seng Bank, HSBC, Standard Chartered, etc., or through a Chinese bank like the Industrial and Commercial Bank of China, Bank of China, China Construction Bank, Agricultural Bank of China, China Merchants Bank, Bank of Communications, etc. In today's video, I want to highlight some of the key recommendations when choosing your bank of choice. First, you should always consider the nature of your business transactions. If your business is primarily, and I'm talking about your China business, if your China business is primarily focused on the Chinese domestic market, then a local Chinese bank would be the best choice for you. If the bulk of your business takes place within China, you are unlikely to have many international remittances. With a local Chinese bank, you'll find an established bank, strong network, convenient services, and most importantly, easy access for both your vendors in China and your customers in China. If your business in China is solely a cost center, then potentially an international bank would be a better option for you. But I do know that banks do not earn a lot of commissions or a lot of commissions from you by you just being a cost center. The international banks in China are becoming much more critical about the types of clients they're taking on. So we want you to be aware that if you're just a cost center, you might not even be able to open up with an international bank. This is why it's really important to do your homework and speak to 2 to 3 different banks to explain to them what are your intentions into China and see if they really are the right fit for you. What you don't want to happen is that at some point they're not earning enough revenue from you, and therefore they decide to kick you out of the bank, and then you have only 1 month's notice to change banks. This has happened, and we don't recommend this extremely painful process to go through that. So make sure you do your homework. If you are expecting that your business will require a significant loan, then potentially your best choice is to choose a large, prominent, and well-established Chinese bank, like those that I listed earlier. If you do use a smaller bank, be sure to convey the demands of your business to the bank before making a decision to open the account. Another recommendation is try to choose a bank close to your company, but recognize that the closest bank may not always be the most convenient for you. Trading companies and large office buildings will often find the banks in their immediate proximity to be extremely overcrowded and subject to long waits. And if this is the case at your place, a bank not too far from you may be a better choice. So analyze that as well. In addition, to avoid complications, be sure to ask if any employees at your local banking branch can communicate in your native tongue, or at a minimum in English. Having someone at your bank whom you can easily communicate with is just in the best interest of your business. There are not too many Chinese banks that offer that. Obviously, the foreign banks do, but we do just want you to think about all of these types of recommendations. Another recommendation would be to evaluate their online banking platforms. How easy is it for you to be able to work with the online banking platforms from abroad? 3 considerations I want you to make is I want you to all understand that the Chinese banks do not work on a Mac, meaning if you have a Mac computer, you will not be able to open up those platforms. Number 2, those platforms only operate on Internet Explorer number 7. So you will need to download this very old software system to be able to gain access to the Internet Explorer 7, which no longer exists. I understand, makes no sense. There seems to be no changes around that, and that is an issue. The third is talking with your IT department in terms of your own company firewalls. It could very well be that you have very strong firewalls abroad that are preventing you from logging in to the banking platforms. In my case, I can't access the online banking platforms from my office and I use a business center because of their firewalls. I can only initiate transfers when I'm back at home and have a free firewall system. Now, what you might be asking is, in general, what are the tendencies for foreign investors in China? So the foreign investors in China often prefer to work with an international bank, preferably a bank that they're already working with. I completely understand that. They might then have access through just one key token to all the various platforms on a global scale, okay? What I want people to understand is that working with a foreign bank might not be as efficient as you think it should be. The application process for opening a bank account with an international bank is by far longer, and I'm talking about several months longer than opening an account with a corporate account with a Chinese bank. There are substantially more Chinese commercial banks than foreign bank branches, which allows for much more convenience and renminbi remittances. Most Chinese companies have local bank accounts, so conducting transactions with them will be easier, faster, and you won't have to provide supplemental documentation. And I have to say, generally speaking, in China, the Chinese banks offer greater bank account security than the foreign banks do. That's just an opinion. There's no case law around that. It's just an opinion in terms of the amount of different bank accounts I have worked with over the years. What I want people to know is that when you're incorporating your entity in China, don't base the decision on choosing a banking partner by the length of time it takes to open the account with them. Choose the banking partner based on longevity of the relationship you're going to have with them. Talk about communication. And obviously, you need to make a list about what your needs are from the banks in terms of services. And you just have to see whether they can fulfill those services, what documents have to be provided to fulfill those services, etc. One question I get quite frequently is, do the banks provide debit cards, corporate debit cards, or corporate credit cards? This won't happen at the beginning. You've got no collateral. You're starting up your business. You need to show proof of transactional volume, time that you're committed to the market before they would even consider giving you credit or debit cards. So usually they'll wait. The trigger is usually around 2 to 3 years from the establishment date before they even consider it. I hope this information has been helpful to you. I'm not a bank. I'm just giving you opinions, recommendations based on my experience in the market. Definitely do your homework. You guys should be speaking to the banks. You should be choosing the banks. It's not up to the corporate service providers and lawyers to be choosing them for you. We can make recommendations. We can provide case studies on why we wouldn't use certain banks. But ultimately, you should be doing your homework to understand what is the best fit for you. If you're struggling with this and you just need a bit of brainstorming, reach out to us. We've got the link to our diary. Set up a call and we'll see if we can help you. If you enjoyed today's video, please press that like button. Share it. The more people we can reach, the more people we're going to help who are struggling in the Chinese market with their businesses. And last but not least, if you'd like to learn more about what we do at Woodburn Accountants and Advisors, head on over to our website at woodburnglobal.com. It has a full list of our services, as well as additional resources in the form of short articles, publications, ebooks, industry guidelines, etc., that may be of interest to you. We wish you a wonderful day. Have a great weekend. Take care and goodbye.